Hello, everybody. I'm here today with Kim Post, certified residential appraisal with Post and Associates. Um, Picking up where we left off before, the taxable value or your taxing authority assesses your home at a value. I know a lot of people, disagree with it. Can they take an appraisal, or can they hire you to do an appraisal and help dispute their taxable value?
Yes,
Or their SEV?
actually, I do quite a bit of business in that regard.
Okay.
SEVs are figured, the zoning authorities figure appraisals in a mass appraisal, and they have totally different ways of developing a price than what an appraiser does. We use MLS. They don't choose to use MLS. I don't know of any of them that have access to MLS. They do it based on looking at a whole area, like Grand Rapids. They do it in general as a whole, and then they'll take sales prices, but they don't have any way of knowing if there have been seller concessions, if it was a land contract, if it was a cash deal. Well, they do know land contracts, but they don't know, so you know that those sales prices aren't accurate in a lot of instances.
So a lot of people think, you double your SEV.
And that's the value of your
That's
house.
the value of your house. And also I've heard that a lot of times they don't even go through the home, or I know they don't go through the home.
Right.
So it seems, I can understand why people question, how do they know the accurate value of my home if they haven't even been in it,
And
So-
earlier I mentioned a real brief definition of an appraisal is an unbiased opinion of value.
Mhm.
The assessor is a biased opinion of value. Their revenue, their paycheck is coming from the values of property, and it's never been more evident than right now when we have declining market, and they're seeing their budgets cut, and they don't want to acknowledge that foreclosures have had an effect on that. They don't like to use them as comparables, when in reality there are some neighborhoods that have not had any conventional sales in the past year.
Mhm.
So foreclosures are determining value. They don't look at, just like you mentioned, they don't get inside most of these places. They don't know, so they may be comparing your place to something that's either a dump or a Taj Mahal compared to what your place is. They don't have the parameters of staying within a neighborhood that I mentioned in our last segment. They don't hesitate to use comparables with or without a basement compared to subject. They just have different rules, and they may be meeting their rules, but as far as what is the current market value of the house, or as of December 31st, what is the current market value? That's important to find out based on what sales are.
Okay, so if somebody does question the value and they contact you and you do an appraisal, can they use that then to help dispute it? Or
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Do you know what the procedure is for that, or what they would have to do?
Yeah, I do. There is when your taxes come out, there are directions on how to dispute this.
Okay.
And it's a process, and it's getting harder because there are so many people doing this and the townships are not, or the neighborhoods, the cities are not in great financial conditions, so they're really not wanting to reduce these. So an appraisal is even more important, I think. But you're going to have to fight it all the way. There's the initial with the assessor that you turn it in, and if they don't come down to what you want it to be, or up or whatever, and then you meet with board of review, and if they don't, you're not satisfied with their results, then you go to the state tax tribunal, which is out about a year and a half to 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And it's very important. That unbiased opinion of value is very important, because they too look at you and say, well, that's your property. You're going to search out, if you're a realtor or an investor, you're going to search out to try to fit value, where an appraiser, we have a job to do. That's our responsibility, to just look at the facts. And it's also appraisals for tax appeals have comments related to I guess, very detailed. I do a lot of statistics in those I do them in all the appraisals, but it's more important, like how many foreclosures were in the neighborhood, how many sales were there this year, compared to last year, was the price higher or lower, and just a lot of explanation, and that's important when you're appearing in front of a zoning authority.
Okay. Now, what if somebody questions your appraisal? Like if they, not happy with the value that you determined, do they ask, to get a second appraisal? Is that what you recommend, or?
Everybody's
happen?
always welcome to get a second appraisal. I mean, they hire me to give my best opinion of value, unbiased. And especially right now, people are not happy with the values in a lot of cases, unless you're appealing your taxes or that kind of thing. But sure, you can find, and you probably can find somebody to get the value that you want it to be at. But people need to go in and say, you really want to know what the value of your property is based on facts, not based on what you think you have into the property or based on what you think it's worth. And we're all emotional about our own properties. And so first of all, I suggest that people really say, I do want to know what the value of this property is today.
They just want the honest
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much. I think everybody will get a lot of information out of that. It was really good stuff.
Great.
I appreciate it.
If there's any questions that people have, they're welcome to call me, and I always love to chat real estate.
Okay, thanks.